Now for the weekly video update. One of the things that went on this week is James and his friend Howie got the hay bine going, and to test it they went ahead and cut off most of the grass hay here, and then they plan to also bale it and do the grass that's up at Howie's place, which is up by Masonville. And so this kind of shows the field cut off, and then what I plan on doing is taking the pickup around and picking up those seed heads from all of the darker weeds that you see. I think that's called dock, D-O-C-K, weed, and putting it in the pickup to burn this winter. Then once I get those out of the way, I'll go ahead with the bush hog mower and trim up the rest of the field and the bottom area down there. Next, they're going to work on the baler and try to get it going so that they can take care of the hay each year, which will be nice to see it get some use, as well as the irrigation water. Also, I did some more work on the little equipment building for the network equipment and energy systems equipment. I did go ahead and get the roof sheathing put on, as well as the trusses put up. I've got a door there ready to go in the door opening. A couple of other things that I'll be doing fairly soon is fixing this east wall, which has got one bad stud in it, but I'll frame up an opening to set a window type air conditioner in there. I've got an 8,000 BTU unit that I took out of the old house that should provide plenty of cooling. And then once I get the felt on the roof and the thing's all waterproof, then my friends are going to come in and start working on the inside, putting insulation in, wallboard and tile down on the floor. Then we should be about ready to move in, and I can finish up the outside with siding and trim as I find time. It's going to have a green metal roof plus a little cupola up at the top that I've designed but not built, so it'll look sort of like a miniature version of the carriage house. Another area that I continue to work on is the drainage plan, which calls for a drainage channel to protect the west side of the carriage house, and I've gotten that down about a foot or so, and I plan to do more grading and take it down a little bit farther, and then I'll basically slope the ground from the carriage house on out to where the drainage channel is. I did draw up a drainage plan for the whole place, and I'll have a couple of drains put in along the driveway at the right spots, the low spots, to drain water from those areas underneath the driveway and out to the east of the barn and down the slope from there. And another area that we've been working on is getting some of the old unwanted trees out of the way. This first tree that we've took down is the one that's right by the back sidewalk going into the house. Eventually Charles will get those stumps cut down to almost ground level. This tree we felled out along the new driveway towards the dumpster, and you can see it's moved off of the driveway now, but then we cut it up. Some of the brush has been hauled off and some of the wood's been hauled off, but what's left here Charles will cut up later on, and at least it's out of the way. The trunks will be out of the way by the time the demolition starts, and this will give the equipment for demolition a good access from the back east corner of the house to get to it to tear it down. I'll walk up to the second tree now. The second tree we took down was the mostly dead, I want to say Siberian elm, because I did some reading on it, weed type elm, up close to the blue spruce that Dad planted by the front sidewalk. And that one we dropped sort of straight out towards the barn, and most of it has been cut up, some of the brush removed, some of the wood removed, and then we moved the big pieces off to the side so that the front driveway on this side was cleared once again. So the rest of the wood will get cut up and the brush will be put down on the brush pile, which I'm planning on getting a burn permit this winter, and then it'll get burned. And another area that I spent some time this week is more work down in the basement. I've got the floor pretty well cleared off. I still need to get the big items out, which I'll need help with now since my left hand and wrist are not in too good a shape. But one area I started was getting all of the stuff off of the shelf, which you can see along here. And another thing that I did was several trash piles that I had built up on the floor. Basically, I got them scooped up and out of the way. More stuff off of the shelf. Charles had also taken down some of the braces. There used to be a brace that went across to that stack of center blocks over there. And we've gotten those out of the way so that it's a lot easier to move around down in here. There's still some braces up. But I need to make a major effort this week to get the rest of the stuff out of here, because I think once I get the state permit back, then the demolition is probably going to proceed pretty fast. So I need to get the rest of the stuff out, as well as strip out what copper that I want. There's still a little bit of stuff in here. I'm going to try to rescue these little juniper trees that are growing down underneath one of the other junipers. You can see one there, there's another one there, then a third one over here, and excuse me, plant those out to the north to start forming a new windbreak to the north of everything. That's about it for this week's update. I did take my free sign down because I got rid of the old refrigerator and the two old stoves, so they disappeared. So I've got the free sign down for now until I get some more free stuff out, and then I'll put the sign back up for people to come and take a look at it. So that's about it.